What's happening?
What's happening?
What up? What up? What up? What up? That's the Martin entrance, right?
Hello, everyone.
It's Saturday night. Move over a little bit towards me. Saturday night.
Happy
You already know what time it
Saturday.
is. Saturday night. We're glad to be back. We weren't here last week.
Oh, that's right.
We were actually enjoying sort of an after dark conversation live in DC. So
really
we were,
great.
It wasn't us, but we were at an event.
It's really great. I'm shiny as usual.
Yeah, I am too. We were at an event that was sort of an after dark event, kind of, and it was really good. So we canceled ours. But we're back this week. If you're here watching this, actually, it doesn't matter whether you're watching it now or you're watching it in the replay. Here's what I ask you to do. I ask you to share this. What is happening over here, Elizabeth?
Tearing stuff up.
I ask you to share this because the more people that jump into this, the greater the conversation, because this is really about getting your feedback and getting your opinion. Those of you who may not be, I feel like the mic is funny today. Those of you who may not be familiar with what this is, it is Have a Conversation After Dark. It is a time where we come and just drop some stuff on the table, topics that might be taboo, topics that might not be taboo, but just don't get talked about enough. And just to hear your heart on it, you get to hear our heart on it. It's not so it's not so much about giving advice as much as it is about getting you to have the conversation as well, because we are proponents of conversation.
Yep.
We're proponents of conversation. So shameless plug, since we're talking about conversation, we don't ever really talk about this. Have a Conversation journal.
Can't see it.
Oh, come here. Come behind the book.
It's not me.
It's not you. Have a Conversation journal. I don't know why the camera. Oh, you know what? It's the lighting today. Anyway, we have a journal that allows for conversation to take place. We've gotten some great feedback from those individuals who have used the journal in the past. We're proponents of conversation, and we feel like you should be able to. You might not have to, but you should be able to talk about everything.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
share this. Share it. Share it. What's going on with my thing over here?
Where do I usually put this when I go live on
Where the
Instagram?
fan is. Here, give me that.
Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. Don't go too far with that fan now. You know I need it.
Yep, I'll turn it this way. Listen, it ain't a whole lot of people on right now anyway, so we can take our time and get situated.
There we go.
If you read the description, you already know it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one.
What?
I'm just trying to think of what my answer is going to be to your question.
Okay. Well, we'll start off with one question, and then we'll go to another one.
Yeah.
If you're watching tonight, let us know that you're watching. If you're watching live, if you want to, it's not mandatory that you let us know, but we would love to know that you're here with us as we have this conversation.
Yeah.
We've already had kind of a preliminary conversation about this today because we were hanging out with some friends prior to getting on live here, and I dropped the subject on them ahead of time. Dropped the subject on them ahead of time. Shout out to Tabby and Charmaine and Rick and Eric.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. We were kind of chopping this topic up a little bit earlier, so we're gonna bring it to you. And you saw it in the comments. No, you saw it not in the comments. You saw it in the
in the comics.
In the comics. Yeah, it might be tonight. Might be some comics. You saw it in the description. And in the description, we're talking about whether two things. Let's start out with the first thing.
Okay.
The first thing is there is a particular sex coach.
You can turn that off whenever you're ready.
Okay. There's a particular sex coach that we follow. And I was watching something that she was doing. And in her presentation, she said that...
Man, my earpieces are just...
not working?
Never work right. They always slip out of my ears. Go ahead.
So this particular sex coach said that if you are married and you are having sex once a week, that you are essentially in a sexless marriage.
I don't.
If that's all you're having, right? So this is what she said.
Yeah.
If all you're having is once a week, you are essentially in a sexless marriage.
Right.
Now,
I don't agree.
Why do you not agree?
Because it may not be often, but you can't say it's sexless if there is sex.
Okay, so we'll come back to that in a second. Charmaine is in the house. What's up, Charmaine?
What's up, Charmaine?
Charmaine was one of the individuals that we kind of chopped this up with ahead of time before we got on live. So they're gonna have, I'm sure they have they're gonna know some of what we said anyway because we kind of chopped it up with them. So
Pat Graham is in the house.
Thank you for being here. Pat is in the house. So Pat, here's the first question. The first question is, do you agree or disagree, and why or why not? We're listening to a sex coach, and the sex coach tells us that if you are having sex only once a week, she's saying that that's not enough and that you are essentially in a sexless marriage if you are having sex once a week. True or false? Now, I have some other things to say. I have some other context to give, but I want to put that out for shock value first.
What's up, Crystal Jones on Instagram? Crystal Jones from Instagram says once a week is better than none a week.
Once a week, I agree, is better than none a week.
I agree too.
And that's going to lead us into our second question, Crystal, in just a second, because I don't want to spend too much time on this because I really want to spend time on the second question. It is related to this. Pat Graham says, I disagree.
I disagree as well.
Okay.
I think, like I said just now, I think that Once a week is not often enough. I
Mhm.
get that. But you can't say it's nothing.
Okay.
It's at least, like Crystal said, once a week. You can't say it's sex less if it's sex.
Okay. So I get that. You're speaking technically in terms of if you're having sex, obviously your marriage is not sexless.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. So
So do you
let's
think she
take
meant something else?
well, so let's put the semantics of that definition aside.
Okay.
What she was essentially attempting to illustrate is that because sex is so important,
Mm-hmm.
that because sex is so important that if you're only I saw that, that's why I
I
paused for
can't
a second.
stand Pat.
If you're having sex only once, that you are essentially not putting in the kind of effort that it would take to build a healthy relationship from an intimacy standpoint. So once might as well be none. Is basic. That's not what she
Once
said.
might as well be none.
That's
Okay,
that's
that's
not
different.
exactly what she said. I'm not quoting her,
Oh yeah, I
but that's
understand.
essentially what she was implying. Is that
Okay.
once is essentially none.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a sexless marriage if it's only once. Pat said when I hit it, she feels it like it's every day. That's all. Hey, listen, man. You got gold
Cannot.
over there, bro.
I
Keep
cannot.
keep hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the gold, man.
I
Gold is
can't.
valuable. So and gold lasts for a long time. So if I give you a gold bar today, you'll still have it a week from now. So that's so so essentially that works.
Oh, you too.
That works. So everybody disagrees so far, right? Crystal
Yeah.
said once, at least once is not none, right?
So if she meant what you said,
Hmm.
that it's not, what did you say? Like it's not substantial,
Right,
like enough to fulfill the holisticness
right.
of intimacy.
Yes.
In that regard, I understand what she's saying, but that's not what she said.
Can you build intimacy with having sex only once a week? Is that possible?
You mean holistic
Holistically.
intimacy? Intimacy?
Holistically.
Not holistically.
Okay.
Because, in my opinion,
Hmm.
once a week is not enough to build it holistically for it to be well rounded.
Okay.
Like all the other um areas of intimacy would be up here,
Hmm.
sexual intimacy would be down here.
Okay.
So then that's not really holistic.
Can I argue and say that maybe even
Crystal says no.
no, it can't be? Okay. Can I argue that even the other areas of intimacy are lacking as well if you're only having sex once a week?
Why? Explain.
Because if you're building intimacy holistically,
Mm-hmm.
and there's physical intimacy, physical proximity and touch,
Yeah.
right? There's I pulled that emotional intimacy. There's experiential intimacy. Don't you think that would lead you into wanting to have sex? So if you only are having sex once a week, you're not building in those
You're
other
more
areas either.
prone to want to have sex. Yes, I agree
Okay.
with what you're saying. Um, yeah,
All right.
but
Go ahead.
I think you would be more prone if the other areas of intimacy are fulfilled, like experiential and intellectual and all the other types of intimacy. If they are being fulfilled,
Hmm.
I think you would be more prone
Right.
to want to
Sex.
be sexually intimate with your spouse.
Which flips all the way back to the question now. If you're only having sex once a week, you might as well be sexless. So that's like me saying I ate last week. I essentially didn't eat. Because what did I do for the other 6 days? Nothing. And what I ate 7 days ago is not going to sustain me today. My stomach is touching my back today.
Mm.
So I didn't eat. I didn't eat. I didn't eat. You know what I'm saying? I didn't eat. Tiffany said, what if one person is having medical challenges? Would you say that because they are not able to have sex, would that be grounds for divorce?
No.
Hold on to that, Tiffany. That's where we're going next.
That's the second question.
Yeah, hold on to that. I'm gonna come back to that, Tiffany. Hold on to that.
But no.
Hold on to that.
In my opinion.
Pat said I get it though, but it's not every day. but it's not
every day.
Yeah. And I don't think every day constitutes a healthy marriage either. That's one extreme and the other, right? So you can't say if you're not having it every day, it's not healthy, because everybody can't have it every day.
You're
That's
saying that every day does not constitute healthy marriage?
I mean that's just you just getting lucky now. You have the time, you have the the space and opportunity to
So
do that
if
every day,
we
but
were to have sex every day,
Mhm.
would you be like, "Oh, this is just luck of the draw. This is not healthy."
Absolutely not.
What then?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. We got to try that. We got to try that and see what happens. But no, that's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying that it's not healthy if you're not having sex every day. What I'm saying is that's the opposite extreme, right? So it's funny because I get in these groups, right? And I'm gonna catch it with these comments in a second. I get in these groups and they have these questions about sex in these groups. And you always have these people who are in there like, oh, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with those folk. And we do it 3 and 4 times a day. Come on, fam. You don't.
They might for the first week of marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Stop that. Stop that.
Yeah.
Don't try to play like you're doing more than what you're doing. Right.
So Crystal over on Instagram says there are so many factors. Definitely. Not everyone's lifestyle can accommodate daily sexual activity. What if there are work demands, which we talked about earlier today, caring for children, etc.? Absolutely. 100%.
I agree with that. I'm going to counteract that in just a second. Let me catch up with these comments.
Yeah.
I got to catch up with the comments. I'm going to try to stay connected with these comments tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Pat said he gets it. Tiffany said there are ways to be intimate without having sex every day. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Once a week, something ain't right.
But doesn't mean everything is wrong.
Interesting, Pat, because that kind of contradicts itself.
What?
I'm playing devil's advocate.
It doesn't.
Pat said it doesn't mean something ain't right, but it doesn't mean everything's wrong. It doesn't mean
everything is wrong.
Explain that. And I'm not saying I disagree with you, but just explain that. Married with benefits. We're going to come back to that in a second. Are we talking about with no medical issues? To answer, the quick answer to your question is yes. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Tiffany said, what if you are loud and don't want your kids to hear? Sex is better away from home.
For me.
Okay. Okay.
I get that.
I get that.
I get that.
Turn the radio up.
Turn the radio up. Turn the TV up.
Yeah. Put on abstract noise. I don't know. What's up, Tabby?
What's up, Tab?
Tabby was part of this conversation. So there were some folk that we dropped this on a little earlier today before we got on live. Tabby was one of those as well. Charmaine was one. Pat's laughing. RK3 is in the house. What's up, RK3? The question that we have for you, RK3, is if sex is only happening once a week, are you essentially in a sexless marriage? So a coach that we follow, a sex coach that we follow, essentially said that if you are only having sex once a week, and I'm paraphrasing, that everything that it needs to happen in order for you to build a healthy relationship is not happening if you're only having sex once a week.
Yeah, but
so essentially you are in a sexless marriage. Now, to answer Crystal's question and Tiffany's question and married with benefits question, we're talking about with no issues.
Yeah, there's
no medical issues.
No medical issues. There's no timing.
No timing issues. Right.
There's no children. Got to take care of the children issues. There's no issues. But here's my
you
thing
just simply don't want to do it.
That's an issue, though. That is an issue.
Right.
That is an issue.
That is an issue. So RK3 says, no, not true.
Sometimes I travel only once as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me take travel off the table as well. So let's say RK3, you're not traveling. The kids are not an issue. Work is not an issue. Timing is not an issue. Nothing is an issue.
Fatigue is not an issue.
Fatigue is not an issue, but fatigue is a real issue. I agree with you, Tiffany.
Absolutely.
Fatigue is a real issue. But let's say all the stars align.
If all the stars align, my opinion, and you're only having sex once a week, there is an issue.
And what is the issue?
I don't know.
Okay, but there is something. Like Pat said, something ain't right.
Something is not right.
Okay,
so all of the things that we're coming up with in the comments and in this conversation, if all of those things are not an issue, there is still an issue somewhere.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Pat says something is wrong. Okay.
Something
Pat
is
says
wrong.
something is wrong. But if we are both together and it's only once and none of those issues exist, then it's a problem. Okay. So essentially, and I didn't give this context, but essentially the sex coach that we were watching, that is essentially what she was saying.
Yeah, but she didn't say it
So,
like that.
right. So she didn't say it like that, but essentially she was saying if there are no issues. She wasn't saying that obviously, if you cannot physically do that more than that.
If the person does not want to have sex and nothing is wrong, there's something going on with them.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
But it's not sexless. That's what I said in the beginning.
Okay.
It's not sexless.
Because technically it has happened.
It has happened, even if it's once a week. You can't say it's sexless if there's sex.
Okay. Pat said Denise is sweating. We got on two fans over here, bro. One. Two of them. we got on two fans over here. Yep. So
story of my life.
Our RK3, is age a part of this equation? That's a great question. Now that did not come up in her talk, but that's a really good question. Because age, right? And that came up in our discussion, Tabby. If you're still here, that came up in our discussion when we were talking with Tabby and Charmaine and their husbands, right? Does age come into play as a factor? Now, if we're gonna go that route, if you are able physically to keep up in your 60s, 70s, and 80s with what you were doing, blessings be upon you. If you can't, blessings be upon you as well, because that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a sexless marriage either. Right?
Yeah.
So Tabby said, yep. Tiffany said libido and hormonal changes definitely is a factor. That is a factor.
You're preaching to the choir.
We understand that, right? So we understand that. So full transparency, can we put ourselves on Front Street?
You're preaching to the choir, too.
So the period of life that we're in right now, with Nisi going through perimenopause, that has an effect on her libido. So there's a possibility of once a week, just to keep it a buck.
There are sometimes.
Just because it's just not there, right? Does that mean we're in a sexless marriage? I'm gonna say if I'm gonna give you my opinion, which I haven't given you yet. If you're having sex once a week and all the factors and all the stars are aligned, if you're having sex only once a week, and we're not talking about perimenopause, we're not talking about none of that other stuff, then yes, there is a problem. If there are factors involved, then obviously there's not a problem, right? Pat said that blue pill does wonders.
There is no blue pill for women's.
Wow. There's no blue
There's
pill.
No blue pill
for the women's.
For the women's.
There's hormonal treatments though, right?
Yeah.
Because the parts don't work the same after a while.
Sure don't.
I'm praying that there's some miracle that I don't ever experience that, because I don't ever want to stop. Tiffany said the same thing you said. There's no blue pill for women. So what is hormonal treatments? They help with that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Pat said it's not about you, Tiff. We can't fake an erection. That's true though. That's true, fam. That's true.
Wow, that's true.
That's true, bro. Because women, yeah, you're right. Because women can, yeah. We're gonna get into the faking thing in another episode. Our libido is small, is
similar, probably.
Except it's on my end as the male. My wife
would love it once a day, and that would be a casket for me.
Wow.
A casket?
Interesting.
Mercy.
That's interesting. Now, you don't always hear a lot of men who, even though this is very common, you don't always hear men talk about having lower libido than their wife.
Look at Bobby's comment.
That's interesting.
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to, but it kind of came out that way.
He's right though.
It just kind of came out that way.
He's right. He's right. He's right.
Women have libido issues.
Pat.
They do. They
Men
do.
do
They
too.
do. They do.
Men do too.
They do. Casket. Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't feel like we're in a sexless marriage. Now, obviously, there's some factors, right? We're older. Perimenopause is a factor. So that affects the libido, right? So if once a week happens for us, I don't feel like we're in a sexless marriage.
Yeah.
However, I do believe that if all the stars are aligned, that maybe there's an issue. So listen, you can keep commenting on that, but I kind of want to switch to the other topic, which is related. The other question, the other half of this question, and Tiffany, now we can talk about this. The other half of that question is a sexless marriage grounds for divorce?
This is such a loaded question to me because I feel like, and this is what I think it was Tabby that commented on it earlier, that sex is such a vital, it's just a necessary component to your marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go with that?
No. Finish. I was just saying that there's one over
It's
there.
just a necessary component to your marriage,
Mhm.
to the success of your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not happening, then that can cause, I would imagine,
Mhm.
mental, emotional stress. So if that's
Wow.
a continuation throughout your marriage, if you are mentally and emotionally stressed and emotionally lacking, and it just wouldn't that be grounds for divorce?
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
So let's get Instagram real quick.
Crystal says my husband was definitely disinterested, so it was sexless. Once a month would have been good.
Wow.
Crystal says yes, it's grounds for divorce.
Man, okay. Crystal said yes, it's grounds for divorce. The question on the table is a sexless marriage grounds for divorce?
I don't want to get ahead of the comments.
Pat said it's the glue.
That's the same thing Tabby
Pat
said.
says that's what Tabby said earlier. Sex is the glue. We got the therapist in the house. Mia, let us know.
Mia.
Let us know. Is a sexless marriage grounds for divorce?
So
that's the question on the table.
Yeah. So if it's the glue for the marriage, right? And the marriage is not glued together because it is sexless, then the marriage is not functioning. Function. Why does that not come out right?
I have no idea what you're trying to do right now.
Functioning.
It's not working.
It's not working.
Like that ain't working.
So
what's up, Jeff?
If it's the glue for the marriage, glue meaning it keeps things together, then your marriage is broken.
Okay. All right. All right. What's up, Jeff? Mia said, Jeff? Get yourself a therapist.
Get yourself a therapist.
We always have to ask why.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann is in the house. What's up, Carrie Ann? Hi, folks. I think if one spouse or the other is intentionally withholding, I would say yes. Grounds for divorce. Mia's okay. Okay. The therapist said it's not that easy.
Not
that easy. Why? Tell me about that. Matter of fact, Mia, if you feel like getting on camera, shoot me a message. I'll bring you on. We can talk about it.
Some people literally have body image issues. That's a legitimate issue. Absolutely, it is. It is.
Ah, interesting. So some people have body image issues within marriage.
Yes, I would think so. I think some people do.
Interesting.
Yeah. No pun intended.
White glue.
White glue.
I agree. It is. Cloudy, clearish.
Okay.
Yeah. Got you. Okay. I'm with you. 100%. That's my dude, Pat. I think it's grounds if one person is using it as a weapon. Interesting.
And they're not dealing with someone. Oh, sorry. And they are dealing with someone, whether emotional or mental.
That came up in our conversation earlier too.
Not that they are dealing with someone, whether emotional or mental. I don't have on my right glasses, y'all. I lost my glasses today. These are my old glasses, so forgive me.
Pat is a therapist too. You're right. Exactly.
Yes, he
Pat is a
is.
therapist. Maybe
Yes,
y'all
he
could both
is.
come on. Hey, listen,
Mhm.
I'll send you the link. Just let me know what's good. I'll send you the link. Dr. Tina is in the house. Thank you for being here, Dr. Tina. Dr. Tina, Michelle is in the house. Great topic. It is. Like we start. So Tina, this is what we started out. We started out with a sex coach who essentially said that if all the stars are aligned in your marriage and you're only having sex once a week, that you're in a sexless marriage. And we kind of walk through that. A lot of people disagree with that. Then the follow up question is now, if you are in a sexless marriage, is that grounds for divorce?
Mm.
Absolutely. I missed what Tiffany was saying absolutely about. I think that was the other question. Yeah, a weapon. Now, here's the thing. If you're using sex as a weapon, you got a whole bunch of other issues.
That's a big issue right there.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of other stuff going on. Body image issues happen primarily after delivering a baby. Okay. Thank you for that, Tabby.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Wait, how does one use sex as a weapon?
Hold on. Let's come back to that in a second. Let me get through the comments. The intimacy and transparency within the relationship will help weather the ups and downs of the sex life.
I agree.
So that um I deduce from that, Dr. Tina, that there will be downs.
What?
If it helps you weather the ups and downs of the sex life, that means that there will be periods of downs in your sex life.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I just want to know, like, how do you use
Jeff said,
sex as a
"Yikes."
weapon?
How do you use sex as a weapon? Okay, we can throw that out on the table as well. Mia said from a mental health perspective. Okay, Mia coming with the gems now.
Here's
Okay,
the
let's see what we got.
professional, my girl.
The dynamics of a marriage can significantly impact an individual's well-being. Sexless marriage could potentially lead to feelings of frustration, loneliness, and dissatisfaction
Dissatisfaction
for
for
one or
one of
both.
both partners.
While sexual intimacy is an important aspect of many relationships, the decision to get a divorce is complex and may involve a range of factors beyond just sexual frequency.
So
Interesting.
so maybe the sexual intimacy or lack thereof
Hmm.
is not the only reason that one person
It,
would
it
say,
could be, yeah.
I need a divorce because of the sexual intimacy
Right.
is lacking. There's probably more
There's something
behind
that,
that.
right. If you peel back the layers of why there is no sex, there's probably something else.
Right.
So hold on. Did I get off Tiffany's comment? No, it also could be weight gain. One person in the couple feels like their body is not desirable, not just postpartum. Okay. So
Referring to Tabby.
let me, I can't speak for every man. I really can't. But I'm gonna say this: if you love your wife and she gains some weight, I'm speaking. Listen, I'm just gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna tell men to do what. I'm not gonna tell you what to do because this ain't about giving advice tonight. If you love your wife and she gains some weight and you don't want to have sex with her afterward, you don't really love her. Now, fight me if you want, or fight for your marriage. You can choose one or the other.
Wow. Fight me if you want,
or fight for your marriage. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you put on some pounds. Hey, it's banging season continues.
Are you saying I put on some pounds?
I'm saying
okay.
If you were to put on, if that is how roll the tape back. I said if.
You did not say if the first time. You did not. You said you put on some pounds. That's what you said. Okay, let's continue.
The point is that banging season will continue.
Got you.
Let's be clear about that.
That's not what you said, but I got you. I understand.
Yeah, let's be clear. Let's be clear about that. All right, man. The comments came in quick. Where we at? Married with benefits. With this, are we talking sex as penetration? There are still other things. My wife told me to proofread my comment. You don't have to proofread your comment. Say exactly what you want to say. Say it the way you want to say it. So are we talking? That's a great question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Family, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an answer to that. I guess that's relative.
Are we talking sex as
penetration?
I think I thought we were.
Because that goes back to something Tiffany said earlier. She was like, this can happen a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not necessarily then,
maybe
I
not
guess.
necessarily intentionally withholding too long. I'm sure it would push one or
Or
the
the other
other
to
to someone
someone
else. Yeah, that's
else.
it. Absolutely, it is not. We
Mm.
got Sylvia in the house. Shout out to Sylvia Nixon.
What's up, Sylvia?
Sylvia
Wow, long
Nixon
time no see.
with man, why did it just escape me?
Uh,
Press and Sew.
oh, yes, press and
Golly.
so.
So shout out to Press and Sew who makes the shirts. Go get your 2020 before hindsight t-shirt. That's Sylvia Nixon and
What did
her
she
husband
say
Andrew.
though?
I clicked off.
I think full transparency in a marriage will help with this. Why the lack of sex? Both have to be honest with each other. We know that sex is indeed a joy, blessing, and healing. However, if there is lack, then there is a gap somewhere. What is the gap? Yeah, I think that there isn't just lack just because.
Okay.
There's a reason for it. So I agree.
Pat said abandonment, and the comments are kind of agreeing with you, right? The grounds for divorce could be the reason why the
Could
marriage
be
is
the
sexless.
reason
Exactly.
why the marriage is
Exactly.
sexless. Why
Exactly.
is it sexless?
And shout out to Tana. Thanks for
That's
being
my
here.
girl.
Mia said past trauma.
Trauma can also
Indeed.
Yep. Yep.
We got some more therapists in the house. They coming through.
Yay.
Mr. Moore is in here. What's happening?
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? Good comments. Good comments. Man, we in here. We in here. Let me go through these comments real quick. We in here. So listen, I got real men in the comments. I got real men in the comments, and the real men in the comments are not going to be deterred by a little weight. Let me tell you, it was crazy. One of my favorite comedians, what's the dude with the perm?
Little dude?
Yeah.
I can't
One of my
remember his
favorite comedians, man. He was like, listen, I can't say what he called the dudes, but he called them BN. Itch ninjas.
Okay, go ahead. Go
right?
ahead.
He was like, listen, real dudes ain't worried about no stretch marks because they know it either came from one of two things. Either you was big and you got small, or you was small and got big. Either way,
Okay, let's continue.
Either way, let's be clear about that. Extra bumpers are great, indeed, without a doubt. Thank you, my dude.
He did not say
Thank
if
you.
the first time.
Thank you, bro.
He did not.
Thank you for having my back on that.
He did not.
I'm going to play this back.
Cushion for the pushing.
Jeff, I'm trying to be good, Jeff. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. All right. Some people do not feel safe
in them. Wow. Which could be one of the factors of the sexless marriage.
That's unacceptable.
But I feel like if you don't, well, I guess it would depend on why you don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because my initial thought when I read that was, if I don't feel safe, that would make me, I don't know.
I mean, I agree. If you don't feel safe, the question is, why would you not feel safe in your marriage? I get why that would be the case, but that's a whole nother.
But if you don't feel safe in the marriage, would someone, I don't know, speculating because I don't know for sure, would someone not just have sex so that they do feel safe? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's possible.
Darren,
what's good, man? Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here. It's tailored to the couple what they consider to be sexual intimacy. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Judith, thank you for being here. Blessings on you
Judith.
as well. Appreciate that. Rick and I know a man whose wife was sick for 20 years. She died December 2023.
She died in the future.
Yeah,
2022 probably.
You're right. They could not have sex, but they made
love.
Okay, Tabby, that's dope.
Beautiful.
That's dope. So yeah, so now that goes back to the other question that was like, is this about penetration? Right? Because sexual intimacy includes penetration, intercourse. I love that. Okay. Yeah. We got the therapist in the house. Sexual issues need to be discussed at all costs.
Let's not get in the habit of making assumptions about why sexual issues exist. I agree.
Indeed.
I
Indeed.
agree.
I agree with
I
that.
agree.
Sex can be used as a weapon. That's so we're going back to the question you said. But I
I
question
question
love and
love and
intimacy
intimacy
if
if sex
sex.
can be held hostage. So, is that what you guys mean by sex being used as a weapon?
So let me
When
give you an
you're
example.
withholding, is that a weapon
Holy cow.
or
I gotta catch up.
incentivized? It's hard to be honest with someone.
Sorry.
Babe.
I'm sorry. I didn't know
Cat
you were.
Williams, yes. It's hard to be honest with someone if there's a battle.
I agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, let's talk about it in a second. Let me catch up because that we're way behind.
That's
All right,
fine.
Cat
That's
Williams. Yes,
fine. We're
Cat
just
Williams.
fine.
That
That's
was
fine.
it.
That's fine.
Yes, bro. Either way. Either way. I
If
can't
she
say it like how he said it.
if she a mumpy or she maga.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. That battle may be internal or with the spouse, openly or
Openly or
silently.
silently.
I did. Don is in the house. What's good, fam? Thank you for being here. I'm going to rewind this and copy and paste. Thank you. I appreciate
He
that.
did not say if,
I got
man.
people backing me up.
He did not say if.
I'm going to copy and paste this to make sure if he said if, like I heard. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about.
He didn't
The
say
comment
if.
was not physically safe, but emotionally safe. Got you. I get that.
Esteem safe, maybe.
Maybe.
Esteem safe.
Maybe. Live from the Bronx, the home of hip hop. I love your communication and I love this show. Thank you, Tina.
Thanks, Tina.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much, Tina. We got some more conversations to have. Tina's doing some big things, man. So if you're not following Tina Speaks TV, you need to go ahead and follow Tina Speaks TV. I'm speaking some things into existence with some collaborations. So we're going to put that out into the atmosphere. That's what he said.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Wow. That is awesome.
So beautiful.
And that speaks to the building of holistic intimacy. Right?
I can't stand Pat.
And if holistic intimacy is not being built, then a byproduct of holistic intimacy being built is sex. Pat said this program is hey, listen, man, do your thing, fam.
Bye,
do
Pat.
your thing, fam.
Bye. Get off.
Yeah. So do your thing, man. Make it happen. Hey, appreciate that, bro. That's what's up.
Withholding is being used as a weapon.
So that's what I was saying. So
okay.
So you have people who are like, let's say, for example, something happens between us. There's something that I don't do that you wanted me to do, and you get
like,
back
fine,
at me.
Well, then we're not having sex.
You get back at me,
that's
like, nah, well, you ain't get right. You handle your business. Not the you just can't for some medical reason or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Indeed. This is good, man. This is good. Okay, Tina.
Bye,
off to
Tina.
a meeting. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Blessings. All right.
Something. Yeah, we got that, Carrie-Ann.
Yep. All right.
Withholding happens on both ends, first of all. Whoever is withholding is weaponizing sex because they know the other desires it. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also used as a form of control.
Yep.
Understood.
Yep.
Yes.
Manipulation. Counteracting some kind of action.
Yeah.
Reaction. Using it to as what's the word? The word just escaped me. It was another word I was thinking of, but just getting back at the other person. Right?
Okay. Yes.
And the way I'm going to get back at you is I know this is what you want, so I'm going to get back at you by withholding the thing I know you want.
Mm-hmm.
And often, sex is the thing that we immediately go to. Right?
Yeah.
For that. Right? Darren said past trauma from childhood sexual abuse. Indeed. Yep. And we know that those factors exist. And those are things that you would see people like Jamar for, or Pat for, or Mia for, right? To be able to unpack those things, be able to
work through them.
Right. Institute some very healthy treatment plans around getting through that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what it is. Now, is it grounds for divorce? What I didn't do was give my opinion.
I think that, like Mia said, it's more complicated.
Complicated than that. It's because of the vulnerability associated with sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, this is some great comments, man.
So what's your opinion?
My opinion, is it grounds for divorce? No.
No.
That's my opinion. It's
Yeah.
not grounds for divorce. Let me tell you why I don't feel like it's grounds for divorce. I don't feel like it's grounds for divorce because the the absence of sex is a byproduct of something else.
Something else. Yes, I agree.
So what we need to do now is dig
Figure
for
that
root
something
cause.
else out.
We need to dig for root cause. Now, root cause, like Mia said earlier, or I don't know if it was Mia, but somebody in the comments said earlier, root cause may actually be grounds for divorce because that's the thing. I think it was Tana. That's the thing that could be making the marriage sexless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, if you're not having sex with me, I'm not gonna just divorce you. I'm gonna need to know why you don't want to have sex with me.
Right.
And maybe if we can't fix that,
right,
then we might have to look at making some decisions.
I agree. I agree with that.
But if we can fix that,
that's good.
And fixing that is a trickle down effect into us getting into the bedroom more, then I think we're good.
Yeah, I agree. That
now,
makes sense.
Many people, and the reason why I even brought this question tonight is because I have read instances where individuals have divorced for lack of sex.
That's what they said.
Right.
That's what they said. But like you said, peel back the layers and see, when did that sex cessation start?
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And that will tell you what really is the grounds for the divorce.
Right. Divorce is a significant step that can have its own emotional and psychological consequences, which is why some individuals may choose to explore various avenues of resolution before making such a decision.
Agreed. And I think they should.
Agreed. What if one person has a higher sex drive, which is quite common?
Quite common.
In marriage. Quite common. If one person has a higher sex drive, you just gotta listen, we're a team. If one person has a higher sex drive, we gotta come together and huddle to figure out how we make this work.
But we don't have to divorce over it.
We don't have to divorce.
Yeah.
No, we do not have to divorce. We just got to huddle up and figure out how this is going to work. Now, let me say this, and then this show is not about advice, but since I'm going to give a tiny bit of advice. That huddle is going to require negotiation. A lot of people don't like the word compromise, so I'm going to say negotiation on both parts. A lot of people
don't like the word negotiation, not when it comes to marriage.
It's going to require adjustments on both parts.
Yeah.
So let's give a real world example.
Yeah.
Your drive allows for you to only want to have sex twice a week. My drive causes me to desire sex 4 times a week. So we're going to have to maybe meet in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
And meeting in the middle might be 3, which means I don't get the 4 that I want, but you might have to do more than the 1 or 2 you want.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because it's a team. And if I love you and you love me, why would I not want to accommodate you in that?
Why would I not try my best? And why would you not try your best?
That's just me. Just me.
I agree.
That's just me. Jeff said, well, it could be grounds for divorce
if the other person wasn't aware of what was happening. But if they talk about it and able to fix it, then no.
Okay. With that, sex can mean and impact partners differently. To one partner, sex can be a necessity, regardless of how you feel, what's going on, how your day was, how the body feels, what pissed you off, what you're in. This partner can come from a place of let's just have sex and deal with the issues later. However, for the other partner, sex is more than just act. Enjoyment, interests tied to their emotions and how the person feels. So for that spouse, dealing with sexual issues I didn't see the whole thing, so you might have to give me the rest of that.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And yes, you do have to talk it out. No advice. We just talking. I try to keep these Saturday nights without me giving no advice, because here's the point. The point is that we want y'all to talk about that. Talk about that with your significant other, your spouse, all that kind of stuff, because we need to know that, right? It's going to require some sacrifice, indeed. Meet in the middle. Yes. Go 2.5 with a
6.9.
that helps out.
I don't get it.
I think I know what you're saying, and I agree with you.
What? I don't get it.
I'll show you later.
I
I tried to
might
say that with
regret
a
that.
straight face. I tried to say that with a straight face. I couldn't. Intimacy starts before the bedroom, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Married with Benefits said,
You're ignoring
I'm not
me.
ignoring you. I'm just saying I said I'll show you. I can show you more than I can tell you. I can show you more than I tell you. We'll take care of that in a little bit. Just give me a second.
Oh my gosh.
I think that sex 4 times a week would work at least once with me, and I'm okay with it. What am I missing right here? I think that sex 4 times a week would work.
At least once with me.
That is funny.
And I'm okay with it.
That's hilarious. That is I had to read that twice for a second. That's hilarious. Married with Benefits. That is hilarious. I love it. I love it. I love at least once with me. That's good. That's good. We huddle, we have more sex, but it goes dry again.
It goes this way for years. The person is tired of the pattern. Now what? From Counseling Chronicles.
Man, you bringing in the heavy hitter stuff.
You tell us why. What now? What
you bringing in the heavy hitter stuff? Now here's what's crazy, Jamar. We had a client like that. Mm-hmm. We had a client like that. Yeah. I don't necessarily want to give advice, but that's a great question. And here's the thing.
Mia.
Yeah, come on, Mia. You done messed it up. You gonna mess now when I go to show her, she ain't gonna want to do it. She ain't gonna want to do it.
Oh my
gosh. So Jamar, here's the thing. We had somebody. We had a client like that, right? And there's a path to, as well as you well know, because this is what you do.
Yeah.
There's a path to course correcting that. So yes indeed. Hilarious indeed. Mia done messed up my whole night right now. Oh, she said that's my girl. She gonna be ready. That's what's up.
You pray for me, Mia.
Sex is creativity. Okay, that's an interesting way to put that. You can be creative. You should be creative. Listen, we're gonna get out of here in just a second. I love these comments. I love that everybody is in the comments. For those of you joining on Instagram, thank you for joining. We're actually about to wrap this up, but for those of you joining on Instagram, here are the 2 questions that we were knocking around for the last hour. One is we were watching a sex coach, and the sex coach said that essentially, if you're only having sex once a week, you might as well be in a sexless marriage. And if you're in a sexless marriage, there are some issues. And we kind of knocked around and picked that apart. The other follow-up question was that if you are in a sexless marriage, is that grounds for divorce? And so that's where we were tonight with those questions. And the comments have been outstanding. Thank you guys for being a part of this. This is awesome. The goal, for those of you who have never seen us do this show, please go back, especially on YouTube, check out the other shows. They have been great conversations. And great the goal is not so much for us to give advice. Now we're going to start a new season of Inside the Relationship coming soon. Inside the Relationship was a show that we did previously on YouTube, and we did 1 season, and we're coming back with another season. Now on that show, we are intentionally giving advice. So look out for the new season of Inside the Relationship coming on YouTube and Facebook. But tonight is about getting you to have a conversation about something that you may not have necessarily talked about.
And Dr. Taz on Instagram says, interesting. And no, it's not grounds for divorce.
Dr. Taz says, no, it's not grounds. And there are a lot of folk on YouTube and Facebook, Dr. Taz, that agree with you that it's not grounds for divorce. I also do not think that it's grounds for divorce because a sexless marriage is a byproduct of something else. And so if we're going to be, we need to be peeling back the layers to see what that is.
Yeah.
Now, if we can't fix that, then we might have some decisions that we need to make. But that's kind of where it is. Mia said that, but a sexless marriage.
marriage can be okay.
Okay, so now you trying to keep us on for the next
Yeah,
half
see,
an hour? What talk to us about that. And I'm not saying I disagree with you, but why?
Yeah.
So Instagram, Mia, phenomenal therapist, just said that a sexless marriage can be okay.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mia, but do you mean that um a sexless marriage can be okay because the other components of intimacy are at an all-time high?
Jamar, hold on. Keep hold that thought. Love you too, man. Appreciate
Oh,
that,
love
bro.
you too.
Appreciate the listen. For those of you who are therapists on the show right now, at some point, actually very soon, we're gonna start having guests on these Saturday night have a conversation after dark shows. So in particular, Mia, Pat was on earlier. Jamar,
and your beautiful wife.
and your wife. Yes, just listen out. You may get an email from us or a text or a call or something just saying, hey, are you available during this time slot? Because up until now, they've just been us. It's just been us on camera and you all in the comments. But we want to get some guests on as well. So appreciate you, bro.
And
thank
Dr.
you.
Taz.
Dr. Taz is on there. Yeah, we need to get Dr. Taz on as well. Jeff, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
love you too, Jeff. Thank you. Mia said, no. Who determines a sexless marriage? Interesting. Great question.
Good question. Yes. And also because the couple decided that what we call a sexless marriage is okay. And that's what I had said before. You said nobody. Remember we were talking before and somebody said something about having sex once a month.
Yep.
Yes, we'll hit you up, Jamar. Remember we were talking about how someone said that in their relationship they have sex once a month. And I said, well, hey, maybe that's what they decided. And you were like, don't nobody. No, I said, well, maybe that's what they agreed upon.
Yeah.
And you were like, don't nobody agree to that. But maybe they did.
Let's get Dr. Taz comment first. I'm gonna comment on that in a second. Let's get now, Dr. Taz comment real
This
quick.
is a good point, Dr. Taz. Working with couples who struggle with fertility issues find themselves in a sexless season because it's such a complex matter between the couples.
I agree with that.
I can see how that could be.
I can see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Married with Benefits said we would love to. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we got to get you on. Hey, speaking of, hey, hold on.
Married with Benefits said, if you can handle the truth.
Oh, listen, man.
You can't handle the truth.
We want it rugged and raw. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. Or maybe it did.
Okay, let's move on.
Maybe it did.
We
but
can bring an alternative view. Hey,
we would love that. We would love that. Matter of fact, I would love to have people on here who have alternative views because that makes for great conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who is going to be like, hey, because you disagree with me, we got a problem. I would actually prefer that you disagree with me because it's going to make for great conversation. So, and I love great conversation. I love to have great conversation. So the debate, and we'll reach out. I got to make sure I'm following you guys. I think I'm following you on YouTube, and if I'm not, I will certainly be doing that. The pressure of having children. Okay. Darren said a sexless marriage only because one of the partners giving into what
it is and not making it personal.
So let me give you my opinion. This is not advice. The show is not about advice, but I'm gonna give you my opinion. The only way that I could give my stamp of approval on a couple who wants to have a sexless marriage is that if in their mind they mean sex is penetration. That's it. Because you cannot tell me that intimacy, which is the breadbasket that sex sits in, cannot be present in a marriage. No one can agree on that.
Maybe they don't.
And have a successful marriage. No one. That's my opinion. Now, can we agree that, hey, you know what? I'm not really, the penetration thing is not really my thing. The intercourse thing is not really my thing, but I love to touch and cuddle and I love all the other components of sexual connection. Then, yeah, do that.
How can it not be your thing? There's got to be a reason why we're going back. The wheel
Yeah,
is
yeah,
spinning around
we
again.
can't go back then because we got to get out of here.
There's
It's
got to
11
be a
o'clock.
reason why,
There
though.
might be a reason why, but what I'm saying is, if, like, for example, Tabby talked about the couple who couldn't have sex, but he said he made love every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's very different than being in a sexless marriage.
Yes,
Because you can't say they were in a sexless marriage, even though they weren't having intercourse.
I agree.
He said they made love every day, which means there are some other things that they are very intentional about doing that helps to feed that area of the breadbasket called intimacy.
I agree.
If you just like, oh, we ain't gonna do nothing, then you got a problem.
No, there's a reason why. If that's the case,
right,
when it's like that,
then you got a problem.
Yeah.
All right, listen, fam, we getting out of here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Man, this was good. This was good. We had a lot of folk in the comments. We appreciate everybody's take on this. This is not about a right or wrong. This is about actually sparking conversation. What we like to do is just drop something on the table, let everybody chop it up.
About it. Yeah, chop it up.
Chop it up. And so we appreciate you being here as a part of this. Please share this with someone. We try to do this every Saturday night, just to get people engaged and having conversation. Love you too as well, Mia. Matter of fact, you just had I think you just had an anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and your husband. Blessings on your union as well. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you for being a part of this. Tabby, thank you for being a part of this. Tabby was part of the pre-conversation. So we were able to chop it up with Tabby and Charmaine and Rick and Eric a little earlier about this topic. Yeah. Here's the whole goal. The whole goal is for you to have conversations. Anybody who knows us knows that we are huge proponents of communication. Yeah. Communication is a catalyst for learning. Communication is a catalyst for growth. Communication is an opportunity to express. Communication is an opportunity to just be in a space where you can open up yourself to have your perspective expanded. Mm-hmm. I told somebody the other day, it's not always about changing your mind as much as it is about expanding your perspective. Mm-hmm. You may walk away from the conversation feeling exactly what you feel,
but at least you have different.
But you have a different view. You have an expanded perspective of what that is. Yeah. Right. So that's what this is all about. Jeff, thank you for being here as well. Jeff said that was awesome. Thanks, love it. Jeff. Thank you for being here. Listen, we're going to get out of here. We will be back, God willing, next Saturday night with another conversation, after dark conversation. Please, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're a Facebook person, either join our Facebook group or get on our Facebook page so that you can be aware of when these conversations happen. Listen, man.
Listen, if you have a topic that you want us to talk about and chop up, let us know.
Indeed. So we have gotten some emails, and I will address those emails. If you have a topic, you can either email me directly, or you can email where's the other email? You can email admin@denali.org, and we will get those topics in front of the rest of the group. All right. Listen, last thing I'm gonna say before we go. We haven't set a date for this, but we are going to be doing another cohort of the Make Love Better group coaching experience. It is a 6-week group coaching experience for couples who want to communicate on an extraordinary level, recognize, manage, and recover from conflict in record time, and to build a holistic, intimate bond. If you know couples that are interested in doing that, they can go to www.denali.org/make-love-better, and you can get on the list to be notified for that. It is denali.org/make-love-better. We are going to be doing another cohort of that
coming up
very soon. All right. We're going to get out of here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We hope that those of you who are married, that your marriage is not sexless. If it is sexless for any reason, tonight will be a great time and opportunity to rain on that drought.
Log off, babe. What are you doing?
Good night, folks. Good night, folks. We'll see you
Oh
later.
my gosh.
God
Bye,
bless.
guys.